Hello everyone, today I have a book review up for you. So I want to discuss the books Angelfall and World After by Susan E. They're just amazing. They're the books that I like to read with angels and demons and kind of set in a post-apocalyptic world. I just think it's really interesting. So for the main character, we have the main character Penryn, and she is just such a breath of fresh air. She's so snarky. I laugh out loud during the book sometimes. She's just really smarty and really kick-ass and intelligent. And then we have the main guy character who is Rafe or Raphael, and he is an angel and his wings are cut off under certain circumstances, and because Penryn tries to help him, her sister Paige gets taken away. And so basically the rest of the first book is them going together, Rafe, to try to find his wings, and Penryn to go and find her sister Paige. So the books are really great, and they're jam-packed with action and snarky laughter, so I highly recommend them. The first book, I really liked it, but the second book made the series for me, and now I'm just dying for the third book, and I don't even know when it comes out. I looked on Goodreads, and there's no indication. So I'm going to be looking at that like every month and being like, when does it come out? I need this book. So that is it for the non-spoilery section. Please go read these books. They are short and jam-packed, and just a really good, fun read. So come back when you have finished reading World After and Angelfall. Yeah, and then watch the rest of this video. Okay, bye! So the first book was really great. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't, but it was the second book that I have some of the best memories of. But let's stick with the first book first, which is Angelfall. So in Angelfall, the first thing that really shocked me was the sister's name Paige, and that's my name. And I was like, whoa, this is weird seeing my name in a book because I haven't ever seen that before. It really took me getting used to seeing someone with my name in a book. I absolutely love the mom character. She's like insane and creepy and weird, but in a good way. And you know, or at least I think I know, that the mom is gonna have some really big importance. Throughout the series, she's insane, but she knows what she's doing and she's keeping herself alive. But I think it's the last book. She's going to have a really big part, and somehow she's just going to really try to help Penryn, and I don't think she's going to be as crazy as she seems. I think she's still going to be as crazy, but I think there's going to be a method to her madness, if that makes sense. Paige, in the beginning of the book, according to Penryn, is this really sweet and innocent and good-hearted little girl who's, stuck in a wheelchair, and she comes back at the end of the book, and I feel really bad for her. And she has her cuts, and she's been taken apart and reassembled, and it had me really scared for her in the second book. I still don't know what the third book is going to do with Paige, but I was really scared that in the second book they're gonna have to put her down or something. I still don't know how this whole Paige situation is going to work. We have a hint at it at the end of the second book, but I'll get there. And then Rafe's character is really cool. Just the fact that he's like an angel and his wings are cut off, and then you find out that he's Raphael and he's agnostic, and there's just so many different layers to his personality that you find out more in the second book. I thought it was really interesting too when Penryn finds out that Rafe is agnostic. And she's just like, well, how can you be agnostic? You're a freaking angel. And he's like, well, you have a creator too. That doesn't necessarily, your race believes in God as well. And I thought, good point. The fact that Gabriel is the only one who can talk to God, and then all the angels follow God's or Gabriel's words, believing everything that Gabriel says is from God himself. I think that's almost what created this apocalyptic thing. Is Gabriel is now dead or gone, or so we're led to believe, who knows. And and he's the one who kind of started this whole angels coming down and not being so friendly angels as we thought them to be. And so I almost think that Gabriel is gonna end up being a bad guy, and that it wasn't God's word, but we'll see about that. Oh, and we're introduced also to Obi, which every time I see his name I think of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so then I chuckle a little bit to myself. But I think he's a really good character. And I'm glad that so far it hasn't turned into like a love triangle thing, because that's what I thought was going to happen, is it was going to be like Penryn and Obi and Rafe. I'm really glad it didn't take that turn, because even though I love Obi, not so much on the possible love triangle that could have happened there. And then we're introduced to Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and they're great characters. I love them. They're so great and mysterious, and like, I don't know, I just think of two lanky ginger-haired twins just causing all kinds of trouble, and it's great fun. At the end of the book, it's like, Penryn and Rafe have this kiss, and he's like, well, I don't even like you. And Penryn's like, well, what does that even mean? And then when she's stung by those, like, scorpion type things, and she becomes paralyzed, and Rafe, thinks that she's dead, he just goes berserk. And I think that's one of the first true times that he realizes that he cares for her, even if he doesn't realize that it might be, like, a love type care, but more like a companionship type care. It still is kind of like the first step towards his recognition that like him having a relationship with a human might not be all that bad. And I feel really bad at the end when then Rafe is wearing these demon wings. Like, what? Like, I was so concerned about what his other warriors, and he's basically like the captain lieutenant, or I don't know how those rankings go, but he was the highest rank from my impression of, this army of angels. And so, are they just not going to believe him anymore? Or then there's Josiah, and he might know, but we don't hear anything of Josiah afterwards, and even in the second book. So my feeling is that he's probably dead, because that girl, Dr. Angel person, I can't remember her name, probably killed him. Now we'll go into World After. And there's a lot that happens in World After, but really I just kind of want to talk about the ending, because the ending was just like, give me more, but then it ended. So basically with the ending, and then Paige being able to control the like scorpion things, that's going to be really important. Like, I think that's going to be Paige's saving grace, is that she is able to control these beings, and so I think that's going to be important for her not being killed, because we don't really know what she is. She's a demon monster creation thing. I was really also concerned for Paige too, because of Paige falling around the angel demon Belial. I was afraid that she like would be attached to him, in the fact that in a weird kind of way they took care of each other when Paige was just not so sure about everything. But she ended up biting him and eating him to pieces. So go Paige, good for her. We have Rafe, who still is getting used to his demon wings, but they almost seem to benefit him more, because he's able to get away from the angels that think he is, turned into a demon. But I believe it leaves off with them cutting off the wings from Belial and taking them with them. And the relationship between Rafe and Penryn is there, but it hasn't fully developed. So I'm also looking forward to that in the third book. Again, her mom just proved me right from the first book. There does seem to be some sort of method to the madness with like the trackers and the phone. Like, the mom is batshit crazy. Like, let's just put that out there. But again, there has to be some method to the madness. And I think that she's really going to become an integral part of the third book. We are also more introduced to really the bad character of the book, which is the angel Uriel, who actually shouldn't really be an angel, because he's kind of bad. And he's the one, thinking about making all of these creations with the children. And he's wanting to create the apocalypse when there is no word from God that he wants the apocalypse to happen. But of course the angels get all riled up, because that is the one time where the angels who are trapped in, this type of purgatory for having relations with humans or for other things, get to have their trial and their judgment in front of God. So they're excited for the possibility of seeing their friends again. I think my favorite part about the second book was the fact that Penryn has Rafe's sword, and the sword is kind of communicating to her, showing her how to fight and stuff. And she doesn't realize the importance of the name of the sword. And so when she's talking to Tweedledee and Tweedledum, she just names it Pookie Bear. Then when she realizes, and she's talking to Rafe about, the meaning of the sword, that all other angelic swords are supposed to, you know, kind of quiver in fear at the name of this sword. And she's thinking, oh great, here's the sword saying, fear me, I am Pookie Bear. I literally laughed out loud. Like, it was great. I love the fact that this sword is also kind of like a character and a being, and is, you know, showing us, the reader, as well as Penryn, Rafe's past, and so we have a better understanding of where he's coming from with the whole no human angel relationships, no, bad. So I honestly have no idea what's going to happen in the last book. No earthly idea, which is kind of great, except for the mom. As I've said a lot before, that there is a method to her madness. And that Paige is also going to be an integral part because of her controlling the freaking scorpion things. So that is it for my discussion. I am about to go and make some Christmas cookie dough and then let it chill for the night and then make and decorate my cookies for tomorrow. So I'm super excited, and I'll have another video soon. Right now I am currently reading the Ruby Red series by Kirsten Gier, and right now I'm on the second book, Sapphire Blue. So far so good. So I should keep you posted on that. So I'll see you guys later.